You're listening to Needless to Say, another disgraceful member of the Damaged Goods Podcast Network. Check out us and other great shows at damagedgoodsinc.com. Hello, everyone. I'm about to do something Needless to Say has never done. I'm making a public apology on behalf of the Needless to Say crew. Last week, we spoke about Anthony Bourdain hanging himself with his bathrobe belt dangling from parts unknown in his bathroom. After hearing that he was cremated in France this week, it got us to thinking, hey, wait, I wonder if they put his ashes in a pepper mill. Well, anyway, we weren't trying to be insensitive to his family, friends, and fans. He already did that himself. And if you ever get a chance, we'd suggest that you swing on by one of his restaurants and hang out for a bit. You won't regret it. We get that he was very inspirational to a lot of people, and how could he not be? He inspired great dishes, such as his incredible take on the traditional sausage and pepper sandwich. What he did with this New York City staple was to combine sweet sausage and spicy sausage. That's right, 2 different sausages in one sandwich. He was truly a master of his craft. Or how about the pasta and garlic butter? What you want to do is fucking make pasta and garlic butter. I like that some of his entertainment industry colleagues jumped on Twitter and other social media outlets to share their thoughts and prayers, to put on hold the use of their public platform to spread positivity and inspiration like fuck Trump and other important messages to society and our children, if not just for a moment. It was nice to see that over a 48-hour news cycle, the news media put together a shit ton of tributes to Mr. Bourdain and talked endlessly about him for 2 days. You know, let's not talk about the other 22 veteran suicides that happened that day, the people who risked everything for the people that ignore their sacrifice. No, instead, let's talk about the guy whose only risk ever was getting the shits from a dish that he ate on the side of the road in fucking Bangkok. But you know what? We did the same thing, and for that, we're truly sorry. Oh, and fuck, we said that a lot last week, and for that, I'd like to apologize as well. Not for the word itself, but for the overuse as a crutch without any real purpose to what we were saying. We were excited about our new home at Damaged Goods Network, and the beers were flowing. But it's not an excuse to sound like a bunch of idiots with nothing to say other than foul language-filled diatribes about a douchebag that traveled the globe telling people their food sucked. We have more to offer than that. So with that said, Maestro, hit that music.
All right, welcome back to Needless to Say. I'm here with the guys.
Right.
Do I really need to name them again? I think we know them now. You've seen their faces, not only on our site, but also, shameless plug, on the Damaged Goods Network.
That's right.
Yeah. God, did we plug them enough last week?
Holy shit.
We name dropped the hell out of those guys, man.
Right? Exactly.
So
I think we said fuck less than we said damaged goods.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
It was close.
Man.
It was close.
It was neck and neck. No, but still psyched about it.
So we're good. I mean, how you doing after that intro? You stumbled a little.
I did. I struggled through that.
The audience won't hear that.
No, they won't. I'll edit it to sound like I knew what I was doing. No, I struggled through it. It's just been a weird week.
I've noticed what kills
around.
you as the editor. Conjunctions.
Yeah.
Reading conjunctions. Anytime
even.
there's like too many ands in a sentence,
Yeah, I started to...
it's like speed bumps.
Yeah.
And you're on a moped.
Yeah.
It's all good, though. It was a good intro, and it kind of summed up how we are, man.
Yeah.
That's where we are. It was a weird week.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, and we'll get to it in a minute, but Mike, how was your week? How was work?
It was great.
Yeah.
Backbreaking, but it was good. Got through it. I mean, what
Those
the
fucking boxes of Tupperware are fucking heavy.
Tupperware, I wish. I wish it was just Tupperware.
No, I don't know how much you want to expose on the air, so Craig, feel free to put this out. But there's kind of a saying, it's always easier to find a job when you have a job.
Yeah.
And so now you've been gainfully employed at Dollar Tree for a week and a half now, and suddenly your phone is ringing off the hook.
Yeah, exactly.
With all kinds of mediocre, freaking crappy jobs. It's awesome. No, I had a couple of interviews today, but we'll see what happens with that.
Well,
I don't know.
don't just leave us hanging.
Yeah.
What were the interviews, my friend?
One was for Toyota.
Okay.
It was great.
What do you
running cars around, driving cars.
I was going to
back
say
and
director
forth,
of sales.
Yeah.
Buy this fucking car, you chump.
Thought you were designing the 2019s.
Fuck you, kid.
Because when I
They're
look
all
at,
just huge. so you can fit them.
they're all huge and elevated for people with bad backs.
They're all giant proof.
Well, anyway, that was one interview.
Yeah.
The other interview
You
was,
find them at the bottom of a bridge, somebody guarding the bridge, keeping children from crossing. Okay, I'm done. Had to shoehorn the fuck in there.
That was good.
Troll. The other one was at Grand Prix, which is freaking go-kart racing. Love it.
It's
fucking fun.
The Seacon Grand Prix is a goat kart.
Yeah, go-kart
And
track.
It's like
It's got other shit though.
Yeah, it's
too,
got
though.
like a giant arcade. It's like an entertainment place for
It's
kids.
where Daniel's son. It was basically like where Daniel's son took Allie with an eye on
Exactly.
their first date.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
What was
It
that?
is.
Golf and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the local Southern Massachusetts golf and
right,
stuff.
Right.
Which I was amazed that they called you because aren't you supposed to be like 500 feet away from those places?
I tried to tell them that, but they didn't care. They didn't give two shits about that. But I don't even think I could fit in one of those cars, guys. If I had
No,
to,
it was funny. I was.
There's
I'm
no
not,
way.
There's
There's no fucking way.
No joke. I'm thinking to myself, if he's gonna move one of those fucking goat carts like to the other side, there's no fucking way. Because
You mean drive it? No.
Yeah, like drive it.
I could probably pick one up and throw it
Yeah,
across
you
the
could
thing,
probably
but-
pick it up and
Put
grab
them
it
on
and
like
drag it.
skates.
Yeah, I know. Put them on the skates. We had two of them.
They're gonna have to change the name of that place to Stop Kart Racing.
Just carts.
Yeah,
just carts.
And it sucks because you have to look for a part-time job.
Yeah, because I
That's the
can't
thing.
work full time.
You can't work full time because it'll destroy your benefit package
because
that you
fucking-
have and what's going on. So that's
Yeah.
why you're thumbing
That's
through
why I'm
these
going through all these fucking
fucking
crappy
jobs
ass
that
jobs.
are making this show great.
Yes, exactly. And eventually, I'd like to, we'd like to create a segment called "Around the World in 80 Jobs." That would be
Right,
great.
yeah.
But
But it only lasted a month.
yeah, exactly. 80 jobs, 2 jobs a day, 3 jobs a day, whatever. Fucking. But yeah, well, that was my week.
Yeah.
How was your week?
Mine, I'm still house hunting. And
Nice.
most of it happened today. I mean, like this afternoon. My job is nice enough that they let us off at 2 o'clock on Fridays.
Yeah.
So at like 2:01, Melissa's like, let's go. And so we went and picked up the kids and we went and checked out a few houses. One of them was eerily close to the house that I grew up in, to the point where I took a picture of it and sent it to my mother. And it's just really irking them that I'm not on Long Island right now because they really can't believe that I'm living in a town that's just like the one that I grew up in, but I choose to be that much farther away from it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think,
they just don't get it. Huh?
well, the biggest slap in the face, I think, would be moving into a clone of the house I grew up in.
Hey, look at my neighbors. They look just like you.
He's buying
Mom.
mannequins next week that look like his parents. Put him in
I'm going to hire a bunch of guys to drive Camaros around the neighborhood. It would be all set. But then we had one house at the end of the day, and Melissa was really excited about this one, and I really wasn't. It was a historic house in a town not too far from here, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
But it was really nice in like a third grade class should have been taking a field trip here. Not necessarily I want to spend the rest of my life here, because
and
I mean,
the rest of your money fixing it.
well, no, it doesn't need a whole lot of fixing, and it's a historic house, so
Right
you
now.
really can't.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot you can do to it, but I mean, there was a lot of stone, and there was a lot of like uneven elevations.
A lot of repairs. Trust me. My house is Historic Society tried to. They came to my house one day. We would like to put your house in. I'm like, get the fuck out of my yard, because if I want to work on my house, I want to be able to do it without having to
Yeah, and
call them first and make sure it's okay.
Yeah, in
You
your
know what I
neighborhood,
mean?
there's a bunch of houses.
Yeah.
around
What is
there.
historic about your house other than it's the only pink house
It's pink.
in
My,
town?
my house actually was built. Brown Street that I live on was a guy, Charles Brown.
You live on Charlie Brown Street.
He's buried right behind my house. That stone.
Yeah,
is his.
the one with the
The
fucking
big one that
the
keeps
top
falling
that
off.
fucking keeps falling off.
Fucking putting on.
We
You
keep
know,
fucking putting it
Charlie
back
Brown
on.
died young, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was that, childhood leukemia.
Yeah, it's funny. Every time I
think
go
the
to put the
football
thing,
finally got
I
him.
go to put it on,
Fucking-
and people keep pulling it away. Like it just every time. But
Ironically, Lucy is buried right next
it was the
door.
first house on that street. He built that house himself. It was the first house on that road.
How did he die, though? Was it slipping trying to kick the football?
Yeah, I don't know. He probably drowned in the basement.
He's probably down there.
That thing's always filled with water.
He's probably still
It's
down
got
there.
Snoopy's DNA in there.
Charlie
But
Brown
yeah.
built my pink house.
I get
love
that. But I get that though, and they're beautiful. Like the woodwork. Some of the woodwork in my house, like around the doors, you can't find that. Well, you can, but it's expensive.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's awesome, but there's work to be done no matter what. Shit's old. My house is
Shit's
100,
old, man.
123 years old or whatever. You know what I mean? So shit's breaking constantly.
Yeah.
No,
Your house doesn't have to be that old for shit to be breaking constantly. Trust me, brother.
it doesn't.
My house, my
No,
God, all the
neglect
shit
works
I had
quick.
to go through. Oh yeah,
Yep.
But I mean, the house was nice. It's just it didn't look like a space where I'd want to raise my family for the rest of their life. It seemed like a museum.
Yep.
Like every room was immaculate. This place was immaculately kept, but the stairs were really narrow and really steep.
Yeah.
Apparently, people were just balanced differently.
yeah,
back
it
then.
was, yeah.
Everybody leaned back
Just-
a bit more. I don't know what else to make of
Their
it.
arms at their sides.
The basement, they put in new support beams because you can't change the infrastructure of a house on that registry.
Yep.
So there's just giant beams, like we're building an escape tunnel. The place looked like a wine cellar from an Italian restaurant in Rome. It was like a
That's
grotto,
awesome.
Yeah.
and it was dry, which is still better than both of our basements.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It was really nice to look at, but this is it for me. I signed a mortgage now at 42 years old. That's the rest of my life. Because anybody who thinks I'm making it past 72 don't take that action. Don't take that action.
Then the worst part is your daughter comes down. Look at this doll I found in the attic. Next thing you know, she's talking to herself in the bedroom.
Imagine your pop figure collection though in that place. Nice and dry, nice and spread out.
I can imagine my kid falling off the 8 feet of
Straight
cement
down.
off of the deck and he's getting tetanus from the wrought iron furniture that was all over the goddamn place. But my wife, her eyes were like saucers.
She loves it.
She
huh?
loved it, and the price was good, but I can't imagine signing on the dotted line. So, in a week when I sign on the dotted line, I'll be sure to have a housewarming party, and
Yep.
I'll invite the Historical Society to sponsor the whole fucking thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it for my week. You, Craig?
I mean, not much. I actually got my deck all set up. I didn't have any historical society telling me I couldn't put a deck on the side of my house. But
I'm sure what they would have loved what Fran added.
yeah, but I was excited this week. We got all brand new deck furniture, like the nice stuff, like the low sitting, coffee tables. We didn't go with the umbrella and glass table thing, which we had for years, and that's awesome. But I wanted it to be more of a chill out, having drinks than sitting at a table eating burgers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want people to be more comfortable when they pass out.
Yeah, exactly. And but then the best addition was the tiki bar.
Awesome.
Yeah, isn't it?
I
It's a
fucking
big
love it, man.
surfboard top, and I'm psyched it's right in front of my pool. Like I got it, set up in front of the pool and stuff. So I'm psyched about that.
Get people loaded before they fall in.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Well,
Yep.
it's got a surfboard on it, so we're all set.
Yeah,
Just
you're
throw
all
it,
set.
toss it right in there.
And I throw those noodle things in the pool for anybody. Just they're always in there, just in case you drown. You just reach up and grab one.
Or in my case, 10 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You don't have a pool noodle. You have a pool Olive Garden.
A pool Olive Garden.
I got to tell you, I've seen this thing. I am a BJ's member. Don't make any obvious jokes. But I saw
Me too.
I saw the tiki bar there, and when
Yeah.
we walked in, and my kids loved it. And I expected the kids to love it because it looked like a Jimmy Buffett wet dream,
Yeah.
you know, complete with like the fake bamboo and like the signs, the directional signs, this way to fun,
Yeah,
and
little
this way to
buoys hanging
paradise.
from
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Yeah, and all that stuff. The one person I didn't expect to love it as much as my 5-year-old was your wife.
You were wrong.
You don't know Fran very well then, I guess.
She
right?
was obsessed.
She would have been.
Let's roll back. How have we portrayed Fran? For anybody who's new to the show, we portrayed Fran in certain ways. She's a lovely woman. She's a wonderful wife.
Yep.
She's also arguably the most conservatively fiscal person
Oh,
ever.
it's
She's
insane.
so frugal. So
Yes,
frugal.
very
We named
frugal.
her that. We named her Frugal,
Frugal Fran. Yep.
And she's so good with money. She's the reason you still own that pink historic Charlie Brown house.
Yeah.
I don't know what got into her where she just randomly walk into a big box store and say, gotta have it.
Well, it was funny. She was like, I love it. I want it. I love it. I love it. But she still wasn't going to buy it. And I was like, if you want it, buy it. Say, if that's what you want, get it. We'll go home. We'll put it together. We'll throw it on the deck. You know? And she was like, okay. Finally she broke down and we did it. And she was so happy when I did. She spent 2 days. It was so funny because she was on a quest for chalk. Because there's a little chalkboard that comes with it. And for some reason, everywhere she went, they were like out or didn't have any. She was losing her shit.
Is she not aware of the hookup we have right at the table?
Right?
Yeah, I know. I got
Right?
tons of chalk everywhere too.
I wasn't telling her. It was fun to watch.
Oh wait, I'm bringing all kinds
But
of
yeah.
colored chalk tomorrow.
No, there's tons
Oh,
of
you
it.
got tons?
Yeah,
All
she
right,
bought,
cool.
yeah, she stocked up. But
Can't
because
wait.
that's why I was like, great, there's a chalkboard. The first thing I said,
Dongs.
great, there's a dick on that thing by next
Guaranteed
week.
this
Guaranteed.
next week.
I was like,
Tomorrow,
yeah.
kid.
I was like, this-
Tonight.
All different colored ones.
Yep. I'm like, at
gonna be
least
great.
Mike can draw dicks on something outside.
Yeah, I was thinking drawing dicks in your refrigerator.
But yeah, so she was excited about that, and good. I'm glad she got it.
The
'Cause
deck
she
looks good.
deserves
We're not
it.
going to be bumping into each other like we always are on
No.
July
Nah.
3rd. Should be a good time. We actually should do some live recording from July 3rd.
Definitely.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Now
And
that we got the room.
Yeah, and Chrissy said she was probably coming down too, so maybe.
I wanted to go
you
one
know.
episode without name dropping.
Oh shit!
Beep that out.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. So that's cool, man. I mean, we'll be over there. Maybe I'll pop by tomorrow. I want to check this thing out.
Yep.
Have
pretty cool.
Fran get behind there and make me some.
Fran's
obnoxious
just gonna be
drink.
so
But I
psyched
had,
being a bartender.
Yeah,
that's what
that's what
psyched
she's
about.
all fired up about.
All right. So, it's funny. We're constantly fucking this, fucking that.
Yeah.
We heard a little criticism this week,
Yep.
and it may be rightfully so. For the first time in a while, we play back these episodes right after we're done with them. We thought last week's episode was an absolute grand slam.
Yep.
Like we walked out of here feeling like $1 million.
Heads held high. All
Oh
proud.
yeah, we were high fiving. It was really
Excited.
one of the dumbest scenes ever. And it wasn't.
It was like the Bad News Bears winning their
It would
first
have been
game.
great if it was like freeze framed, like all of us like smiling into the camera. It was like that.
It was like Judd Nelson at the end of the Breakfast Club, just a fist in the
Yeah.
air. And we accomplished this, and we were all psyched about the network. And then we listened to the episode the next night after the buzz wore off, and we were all chill, and it was ready to go. Craig did a good job editing it, and we realized it was the first time we became really conscious of the swearing.
Yep.
And more importantly, it was the first time other people have commented on the swearing.
Yeah.
Now, my wife
Yep.
is very tolerant. She understands who we are and what we're all about. Last week, she actually said we became a little bit unlistenable because whatever points we were making were getting buried in a sea of fucking this, fucking this,
Yeah,
fucking this. And
it
it's
was
an easy
insane.
crutch. Clearly, when you're struggling to find the words and when you're thinking about what you want to say to get you to your next point, it's real easy to default to, well, fucking, I wanted to fucking, we were fucking.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
what's
all three of
happening
us
a
were
lot.
doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
And on top of it, we were tearing apart Anthony Bourdain. And I mean, that was mostly me swearing at him
Yep.
because, again, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a problem saying it. And then we went off on the Samantha Bee thing. So we're dropping C-bombs all over the place. And
Yeah.
I think we can all agree, cunt's a word I don't like.
Nah.
But she was asking for this discussion, so we kind of
Yeah.
had. I'm not apologizing for swearing
No.
whenever the situation warrants it. But for my own wife, who knows us and knows the show and likes the show, for her to come in and be like, you know what? It was a little unlistenable because of all the
It
meaningless
was just too
swearing.
much.
Yeah, the swearing that had no impact.
Yeah.
Then our friend on Long Island, he kind of texted me the same thing. And I appreciate his feedback. He's got a radio background, and he also likes the shows that we like, the O&As and the Stearns and all that. And so when I heard it from him, and he says it made us sound uneducated. Now, we're a lot of things, okay? And we make fun of each other, and we break each other's balls, but nobody at this table is uneducated.
Yeah.
And we don't come to the table with anything that we don't think we're qualified to talk about.
Yes, exactly.
So that was kind of a slap in the face, you know? That was like a Seagal movie. It was a lot to take in. So, my takeaway, and I'll leave it at this. I'm not going to give up swearing, but that swearing's got to have some impact. Like when I say fuck Anthony Bourdain, which I will 7 more times tonight.
Yeah.
Because fuck Anthony Bourdain.
6 more.
But I don't need to say, fucking this table is round and fucking I need another fucking beer.
I think we would just
fucking fuck Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
that's the way. That's the way shit was going.
We were drinking like very quick, I would say, because we were excited. We were all happy.
Excited, yeah.
And the more we drank, and the more comfortable we
had
feel.
a good show laid out.
That's how it goes, and we want to try to stay.
We had a good show. We had a good show laid out.
The show was great. I mean,
we were excited about the new network. Drinks
it's
were
not
flowing,
just that
we were
episode.
having fun.
Let me interrupt.
No,
you. It's not just that show. We've been doing it a lot.
Yeah.
And it seems like we use it as a crutch when we have point A and point C, and we can't quite get point B to make that transition. And so and as the night goes on, it gets easier.
Filler. It becomes filler.
It's as much as saying and
Yeah.
and it's just we all default to fucking. I got no problem with swearing. And we're on this network, believe me, we're not going to stop swearing.
No, yeah.
This is who we are. This is how we talk. But for somebody to tell me it made them uncomfortable,
I agree. I agree we overused the fuck thing, and we also said fuck a lot, too. But, but I'll tell you what, man, that fucking intro last week was fucking unbelievable. You guys did a great job, fucking Brad.
You said fuck 4 times just
I'm
now.
sorry. Did I fucking say that? I'm sorry. No, all right. Yeah, okay. See?
Oh, no,
See?
when you're complimenting me, have at it.
Yeah. No, but that intro last week was excellent.
Well, I appreciate
was
that.
done
I wish
great.
we
It
kept
was
the
good.
listeners longer.
Yeah.
It was
I wish
edited perfect. The music was great. I loved it. It was awesome.
I appreciate that. I do. I wish that people stuck around longer. And, not to get all weird and mushy about it, but we are on a bigger audience now.
Yeah.
So these swears have got to make sense. Everything we say has to make sense. We can't just go out there and riff and expect to make a good show. Although I get the feeling that's kind of what we're doing today.
That's exactly what we're doing today.
And let me say something about the editing was not perfect.
No, it was great.
Because-
no.
It was great. The music was
nah.
great. I was talking about the intro. The editing was great for the whole show, but the intro was.
I made a pretty
unbelievable. I
big
loved it.
mistake for the second time. I've done this before, where I went back to cut out a section of the show, and I cut it out, and what it did was left the outro music behind. So there was a gap of silence, you know what I mean, before the outro music. A long gap,
About half as long as the last time.
Yeah. And
So you're getting better.
I'm getting better. Yeah. But it was, and the worst part is it's a stupid, simple mistake. It wasn't, you know what I mean? And I was upset about it. And, it was pointed out to us by somebody, which I was so thankful that she said it.
Yeah, thank God.
You know
Oh,
what I
I
mean?
wonder who that could be.
Yeah.
But
It was beep. No.
But then again, you've been working days, nights, doing this, doing that, buying tiki bars, doing all this
Yeah,
shit.
it's been a long,
You can't expect
crazy
it to
week.
be, you know what I mean?
Well,
And it's
there's-
learning. We've been doing it for a year, but we're always.
What's her
fucking
name?
learning.
I forget her name, but she mentioned that was actually our interview with Kate Spade.
Yeah, that was a fucking great comment.
And that warranted the swear.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
that good.
Yeah.
It was great.
So let me ask you this before we, I don't want to dive into it too deeply tonight, but we're talking about language, and obviously we all default to F and F and F and F and F and F and
Yeah.
F and F. But why do we care so much? Well, why do you think us just hanging out? If we were outside and there were 25 people here, we'd probably be having the same conversation we had on the air.
Yeah.
So why is it that words suddenly bother people in the context of a show? I'm just riffing.
No, I
Well,
understand
yeah,
what
no,
you mean.
I-
Go ahead.
No,
The way I see it is most of these people, a lot of these people, well, most of them don't really know us. So, you know, when you don't know someone and all you have is their words to go on, you don't want to be fucking throwing shit out there that makes you sound like an idiot. You know what I mean?
Spoken like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck? Am I right? Am I right?
No,
like a ghetto
it was
Shakespeare.
a good point until you
Until
said
I said
fucking
fuck,
shit.
fuck. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No.
Oh, I think we can hammer that point up. We're not going to stop saying it.
No. And the thing is, I talk like that. You know, I can control it.
Yeah, we can. But
If
when
I'm
we're
around
together,
Brad's kids, you ever hear me drop an F-bomb
No,
around
never.
your kids?
We
Not
never
as
do.
much as I do.
No. You know, but and I can control it in those situations. But the thing is, it's a different situation. We're sitting at this table I'm sitting here with
we're
you two
comfortable,
guys.
man. Yeah.
And that's the way it comes across. Granted, I'm going to try to hold back on it. You know what I mean? Because I can. It's not
I'd rather you held back on the you know what I means.
that is a big crutch.
Shit.
No,
We
but
love you.
I agree. You don't want to just listen to somebody who's, says a sentence and 3 of the words in the sentence is an F-bomb.
swears, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's pointless. It sounds stupid.
Yeah, and the point's getting lost. And, you
Yeah.
know, we're never going to claim to be a cerebral show.
No.
It's pretty clear. We're not going to try to change anybody's minds. We're
No.
not trying to be intelligent. But every now and then, we have a decent opinion that might be worth listening to, and
Yeah.
somebody out there might agree with. And if it's getting lost in a wash of that, I think we need to be conscious of it. Honestly, I think we might have been showing off a little bit for our new label mates.
Yeah, I think it was the excitement out of it and just, yeah.
Not intentionally.
No,
but I
not
think
in-
maybe we were puffing our feathers a little bit.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's to be expected. But last week it really came to a head. But when I got this routine with my wife, where we listen to the show and we get some drinks and we put on the speaker, we're all excited. And about halfway through, I saw her on her phone. And about 2/3 of the way through, she kind of had her head in her hand, and she was like, "Yeah, that's."
She was on a dating website.
I was just gonna say she must have been texting a dude.
Yeah, it's like, screw this guy. I'm out of here. He's an idiot.
And then I just went, "Fucking cunt."
Oh man.
I don't know. I think the words are words, and they don't really bother me too much. But I don't want ever to be told that I'm not educated
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And that word, for once,
It's
those
what-
words hurt.
As much as we have fun and we say stupid stuff and immature things, we can sit around and have an intelligent conversation.
Yeah.
We're not idiots.
We just choose not to.
Yeah, well, most of the time.
Yeah.
I look forward to next week when we're no longer on the Damaged Goods Network.
Yeah, right?
So anyway, I mean, I don't know. Are there any words that bother you guys though? There anything?
The cunt word, I really could do without it because it's. I mean,
We kind of
it's
all
just-
agreed on that. It's
Yeah,
funny.
that's
We
the
all
only
wrote
one
that.
we
That was
really-
the number one
Yeah.
answer for all
It
of
was
us.
an uncomfortable segment to hear. I don't like the word. I don't think
It's sharp. It's a sharp word. It's like it's got edges. Like
Unless
it's
you're
like
from
cunt.
Britain,
You know?
where they're just like,
Well,
hey,
they-
cunt. You
Yeah.
just throw that around like
they,
crazy.
Yeah, they throw that around. But I
Yeah.
think gash is such a better word.
I
Yeah.
hate that more.
Oh,
It's
God.
funny. Ironically, I do not like that.
Oh, I
word
think
more.
gash is light and playful.
So Craig hates
Light and
cunt.
playful.
It also
Craig hates
sounds
cunt
like you
and
it smells
gash.
better.
Yeah. But I'm a big fan of cock. No.
He hates
I didn't
cunt
say
and gash,
that.
but
I
he
didn't
loves
say that.
cock.
No. Yeah.
For
I'm
once,
taking Brad's roll over.
for once, I
Please do.
didn't say that. No.
Please
Nah.
do. Balance your balls on that neck thing of yours.
Yeah.
That thing's gonna grow a sack.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I don't like obvious race baiting stuff.
No,
we don't even need to
obvious
get into
stuff.
those
Yeah,
words.
We
We
don't
don't need to
have
get into
that
that.
because none of us at this table deal with that. Like,
But I also get really offended by things that are clinical. And what I mean by that is, like, you call me a piece of shit. So what?
yeah,
I probably got called that 4 times in traffic today. I don't even think twice about that. But if you called me like a festering pile of human fecal waste,
yeah,
I might take exception.
Yeah.
That took a lot of thought. It took a lot of syllables. And that's like somebody who genuinely wants you to feel bad about yourself.
Exactly. It's kind of, but if you think about it, it's kind of like saying stupid versus uneducated. The stupid thing just rolls off your back. The uneducated thing hurts a little bit, and it's kind of the same thing.
You know what's funny though is I've noticed that there's almost a reversal. Like we use and I'm not going to get into this debate, but we used to, as kids, we used to call somebody a retard.
Yeah.
And we did it so much that the word lost all meaning.
It
Right.
lost him. Yeah.
And that's why so many people did it, because it had no impact, had no power. But you ever try going up to somebody, go up to somebody you work with, you go, you know what, you're a real dummy. You call somebody a dummy today?
Is-
That's like saying you are slow.
Yeah.
You are not right in the head. You know?
exactly.
And I almost feel like all of those words are actually more impactful now than the dirtier ones, or supposedly dirtier ones that they replace, you know? So I think the clinical thing, another thing, call me a pussy. I don't blink. You guys called me a pussy 6 times tonight. It doesn't faze me. But tell me I have a face like Roseanne's vulva.
No, that would get me.
And that's an ugly word, right? It's a Swedish car, isn't it?
A Swedish car.
Yeah, it's about the same size as her vulva too.
Well, the S70, yeah.
The S70, definitely.
That's the diesel wagon,
That's the
right?
big fucking wagon.
Oh God. But yeah, I mean, we just trying to, we're doing this thing, and last week we went through that just constant swearing, like Brad said, kind of, might have been puffing off feathers a little bit, just subconsciously. You know what I mean? We're trying to impress with this with that episode,
Right.
because we're on a new network and we're excited about it. Like I said, we were all having fun, and we were drinking beers, having a blast.
That's nothing new.
And it became
Yeah, it was just we were comfortable.
it became
we
a
get
crutch.
comfortable.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
other way to look at it for me. I mean, because once we settle down, we got a little buzz, we get comfortable with each other, and we just settle into our fucking ways that we see. I'm doing it again. That we, that we used to do for years before even recording anything. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? See, now you got me doing it.
And like Brad said before, we're not idiots. I mean, I don't have a master's degree in anything,
I feel like we're
But-
so trying to tell this audience that we are not dumb.
But yeah, exactly.
We are not dumb.
We sounded like it last week.
Yeah,
you know
we
what
did.
I mean? And
we
we've
have,
always
we
made
have for a
good-
while. We've done a lot of this shit lately.
But the thing is,
Hey, sometimes you got to be dumb.
like Brad said, we don't approach topics like politics. We don't talk about religion. We don't talk about that stuff.
There are a
because
million
everybody
places
is-
that do it better.
Yeah.
The Daily Show exists.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to come to this sad little podcast coming for political insight.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I don't care what you think about Trevor Noah. He's better at that than us.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah, 'cause that's all they do. I mean,
we have our opinions.
Yep.
We probably agree with a good chunk of our audience, a good chunk of our new label mates.
Yep.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not the people for that. Yeah, those are the things we probably shouldn't say anymore. But according to the folks at Saturday Night Live, both the current and the veteran members, it seems like there's a lot of things they don't want to hear about anymore either.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard this on the news, but no less than 3 Saturday Night Live members, past and present, all kind of have one thing in common. They all think Saturday Night Live needs to stop doing so much politics.
Politics, yeah.
And I couldn't agree more.
No, I
definitely.
It was fun when once in a while they would do like the president at the podium. You know what I mean? For a quick skit during something that was happening was fine. The rest of it should have been left to the nightly news segment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where that should have been left
political
for
stuff,
that.
right.
And all the other skits should have been the other skits. You know what I mean? That they normally did. But it seems everything has got something
They
to do.
lead every episode with a White House press conference.
Yeah.
And it's really, I mean, it's higher end stuff. Now, we should all be reading the news. We're adults.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be an adult show. So you're supposed to be aware of things. But they get into nuances of things that happened during the press conference. I'm sorry, I'm a working individual. I didn't watch.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I get it, man. I think they've gone a little too political. I also think they've always made fun of whatever president was in charge.
Anyone.
And that was the point. No matter who was in charge, you go after the guy at the top of the
joke at the guy at the top. Yeah.
So, Gerald Ford, Chevy Chase made him fall down all the time.
All the time.
Right.
Yeah, constantly falling
That
down.
was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Who played Reagan in the 80s? I don't even remember.
There was a couple
no,
of
what do you call
people
it?
that did.
I remember
Norm Macdonald did for a bit.
No,
he
no,
wasn't there then.
No,
No, not for
it
Reagan.
wasn't.
No.
Oh shit! Who did Reagan?
I can't even imagine who did Ronald Reagan. But
Oh, it was what's his name? The one that his wife shot him there.
Phil Hartman did
Phil
Ronald
Hartman
Reagan?
did Reagan.
Phil Hartman did Ronald Reagan a few times.
He did
but
him a few
he was
times.
after
already
that.
out. He
Yeah,
was
already out of office.
Yeah, but there was I think there was a few people. I don't know.
But I mean, there was.
Well, you had
I
Dana
mean,
Carvey, who did Bush Sr., right?
Yeah, which was good.
And then you had Phil Hartman do Clinton.
Yeah.
And then eventually Daryl Hammond did Clinton and did it better.
Yes.
Daryl Hammond did Clinton, and they made fun of the fact that we were so into this guy's sex life. And that wasn't really a joke about the president. That was a joke about the media
Yeah.
and us
Right.
for paying so close attention to this
it
guy
wasn't
getting a
political
blowjob.
based as much as him just being a womanizing psycho.
Yeah.
You know?
And, we all agree that he only got that criticism because he got caught.
Yeah.
Every president has got somebody under the desk in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
This is not news. But we made fun of the fact that we made such a big deal about it. So that was fine. And we made fun of George Bush Jr., making all of his public speaking mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Not a good public speaker.
No.
Man went to Yale.
Hilarious.
And it was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny.
It was funny.
Okay, and then we made fun of Obama for all his demonstrative speaking. But I think this is the first time that they're not just targeting the guy on top. I think this became an agenda from the outside. And we all, again, he's the most polarizing president we've ever had.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, this is not news. But
No.
I'm genuinely concerned whether or not he's an appropriate speaker, whether or not he's an appropriate... If this thing in Korea actually turns out to be real
Yeah.
and legitimate and holds water, then
That's huge.
he's accomplished something that a lot of other presidents couldn't do.
50
None of them.
years.
Yeah, 50,
None.
60
Well,
years.
60.
Yeah.
More than that, yeah.
And I can't help but wonder, and again, not a Trump fan, but I can't help but wonder if it was 5 years ago and this happened,
Oh,
I feel like they'd be building statues in Obama's honor.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know it.
And
You
I'm a
know it.
little concerned that no matter what this man does, because he's done so many stupid fucking
Oh,
things,
yeah, yeah.
I can't help but wonder if he's just buried too deep of a hole, and now everything he does now is going to
It's
be
just-
viewed in different
It
eyes.
doesn't. To me, the way I see it is, it doesn't matter if he did no stupid things. To me,
It's good, yeah.
you know what it is. It seems like to me is Trump was obviously a different candidate. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And he was like big time. I mean, he had a lot of Hollywood friends, and he probably still does. And
Well, not anymore.
Yes,
No,
no,
Stormy
not
Daniels.
anymore. Not anymore. No, but I mean, he was more.
He's got Tim Allen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
He was more on like, you know what I mean, like stardom, on the stardom side, and to me it seems like kind of like they feel like one of their own is like
So
on
was
the other
Ronald
side.
Reagan. Ronald Reagan was the president.
No.
of the-
Ronald
Yeah,
Reagan
no.
wasn't a star.
No,
Okay,
he
he
was.
co-starred with a chimpanzee.
No, but he was the
No,
president
he
of the
was a
Actors
star
Guild.
back in the day.
He
was a
so
star
was
back in the
Melissa
day.
Gilbert from Little House. What does that mean?
No,
and
but
he was
what I'm
fine.
saying is,
And he was fine until he turned parties and went Republican. And then that's when
yeah,
whatever.
but still, like it
those
doesn't.
things ain't gonna change. Nobody's ever gonna change that.
No,
Fucking-
and it
that's always
doesn't
gonna be
matter because whether every single president is going to do good things and they're going to do stupid things.
there. Yeah,
all of them,
they should be
and
praised
they
for when they
and
do
they've
good
all
things.
done it. Every single one of them. They've done
Yeah.
great things and then they've done dumb things, and you have to get to a point where you have to say, okay, he did a good thing today, and not a lot of people jump on. They hate him so that no matter what he does is fucking stupid. They're like, he fed those fucking starving kids today. What a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It goes both ways
So,
too. Exactly.
yeah.
There's some. I mean, they're all people that do that. They're all butthurt because
Yes.
Hillary didn't
That- well,
fucking win.
Well, it's not
That's
just that.
all
one.
it
Or
is.
not even
Yeah.
just Hillary. It could be Bernie. It could be
Yeah,
anybody they
anybody.
supported.
Right.
And Trump's going to do stupid things, and he's going to do great things. Obama did stupid things, and he did great things. And fucking
Name
even,
one.
Even fucking
I'm kidding.
Jimmy Carter, who was arguably the weakest fucking president
Definitely.
we had.
No argument.
No, but he did some good things too. You know what I mean? And that's the way
I feel like he's doing better things now.
yeah.
Habitat for Humanity.
Why is he dying?
Wait till he dies.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wait till he's dead.
Oh my God, that's so rough. And I love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. That's beautiful.
No, but anyway,
Let him finish the house first.
Yeah, but
Make me a peanut butter sandwich.
a peanut. But I mean, but that's the way it is. So there's going to be jokes, no matter what, on all of them. But this just seems to be they're just riding this horse
it's over the
to
top.
the end.
I remember when Saturday Night Live used to make fun of everything in pop culture, and politics falls into that.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to fall into that. It's what dominates the news. But now that we have more connectivity and more things going on in the world, why are they moving away from that? They're just getting so laser focused on politics.
So bad.
Yeah.
Okay, why are they not making fun of YouTube idiots blowing themselves up? Why are they not praising the guy on YouTube who climbed up 9 stairs like Spider-Man and saved that baby hanging from the balcony?
Exactly.
Why are they not doing skits on that show some respect and show some love and make a few jokes? Because that's what jokes are supposed to be, right?
Right.
We love roasting people. You roast the ones you love. That's what Saturday Night Live used to be.
Yeah.
An ongoing hour-and-a-half roast every Saturday night about the week that was. When are we going to get back to that? Now it's 90% Trump jokes. They bring in Alec Baldwin, who always seems to be fucking available on Saturday night.
What else
Well,
is
he's
he
not
doing?
working anywhere else.
Well, get a fucking job, man. I had it with that guy. But why are they not topical about music anymore? They bring all these musicians in. Why not do something about music?
And do skits. Justin Timberlake on Leadville commercials.
Awesome. Funny
those
as a
skits
bastard.
were hilarious.
He's just a funny bastard, too.
Yeah, those skits were but that was Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. You know what I mean? And you had the nightly news. They would do Chevy Chase did it. And,
Yeah,
Norm Macdonald.
Right.
You know what I mean? And all these people did it.
Yeah,
and
Weekend Update.
the weekend update. And they would do the political stuff.
Yeah.
And it would be hilarious because they were just pointing out the little, things of what was going on in politics in the world and what was going on in the world. And then they would move on right back to a more ridiculous
Until
skit.
Dennis Miller. Let's not forget in the late 80s, though. Dennis Miller came in, and he was the first guy that really owned that desk that wasn't a pure comedian. He was actually more of a political humorist.
Huge conservative, too.
Huge conservative, but it was also fair.
Yeah.
And he called it like he saw it. And he came in, and his whole shtick was he was more intelligent than everybody there.
Yeah.
He was the smartest guy in the room. And so when they said, hey, you're being too smart, do you know what he did? They hired another political humorist. I don't know if you remember A. Whitney Brown. A. Whitney Brown used to have a little segment. He would come on, and he would take whatever Dennis Miller said in general terms and turn it into something so much deeper. And it started sounding like the McNeil Lehrer hour. It was the most ridiculously deep thing. And he eventually lost his job because he was too impenetrable. Like nobody could understand what the hell they were talking about. But they were still fair. And that was the only time you really heard about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so even Dennis Miller, who is not known for subtlety, was more subtle than what they're doing on Saturday Night Live today.
Yeah, exactly.
And Dana Carvey, who played a president, was the first one to speak out on this week. And ever since then, there's been 2 more. And the second one was Rob Schneider, and I think he just really wanted to be in the news again.
Yeah, I like Rob Schneider. I think he's funny.
Oh, no. See, Rob Schneider, he's in all of those Adam Sandler movies that they make directly for Netflix.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Rob Schneider, if he
Have you seen his Netflix show?
He's got a show on Netflix.
Yeah, he has a show on Netflix, and it's actually, he plays himself.
Oh, let me guess, he's successful?
No, he's not. That's the best part about it. He's like struggling for jobs.
So that's
it's actually really good.
A real life story of
it's actually
he's probably married to a hot girl way out of his league.
It's his actual wife.
Get out of here.
Yes,
he is not married.
Yeah, he is. He's
to a hot chick.
Is she inflatable?
Oh, no, and her career is actually starting to blow up bigger than his, and he's like constantly fucking like mad about it and stuff. It's actually pretty good, but it's his actual wife.
All right, so
the show.
There's Rob Schneider.
And then you said Dana Carvey, who I think he's right that they're doing more political skits than they should, and I thought that he did more skits than he should. Like after the first one that he did, he should.
Well, you don't like him, huh?
No.
So what's he doing these days too?
He's a chopping broccoli.
Oh, fucking chop a fucking.
I'm doing this just for Craig because he told us
about the church lady.
Oh,
you love the church lady.
Him and Martin Short.
But is that?
Want to bash their heads together?
What did Martin Short do? It was.
I don't give a fuck. I just want to bash their heads together.
Ed Grimley. Ed Grimley.
Yeah.
God, that was the only character he basically had.
Oh yeah,
right?
he can suck.
Yeah,
he can suck it.
But I mean, is this like fucking 2 old ex fucking SNL comedians fucking.
No, there's some recent ones.
No, I'm talking about. I mean, these two. I'm talking about Dana Carvey and Schneider. Are they like just? Wouldn't they jump at the chance to be on Saturday Night Live doing those things?
Well, I thought he was unemployed until about a minute and a half ago.
Well, that's
Craig told me he's working.
That's what I thought too. I didn't know he had a
I think
show.
Rob Schneider could go back on Saturday Night Live and Dana Carvey both if they wanted to.
No, I think the kids they got are pretty good.
Well,
I think they're just younger than we are, and that's bothering me more than
well,
anything.
yeah. There's two people on that, and I can't think of their names right now.
There's one segment I really
are really funny. The rest of the cast is just not.
Well, I think but one of the complaints that came out this week is from a current cast member. And one thing that makes me feel better is she's also a lot older than me.
Yeah.
She's actually 56, and I didn't know this, but it's Leslie Jones, who was in
56.
56.
No
Holy shit.
And she was in Ghostbusters and everything.
Yeah, she's really funny.
Hey, black don't crack.
That's why I don't look 44.
Oh, my God.
What?
I think you've already been told by all our colleagues. You don't pass, brother. You don't pass.
Leslie Jones looks
still
more like a
trying.
black man than you do.
Wait, that's not a dude? I thought it was like Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. She is fucking funny though.
No,
Sorry.
she's hilarious. She is really
funny.
funny.
I like her, but why would you tell your current bosses, hey, I don't like this, and instead of telling them directly, why are you going in the media?
Going to the media, yeah.
Does she think she's a movie star now?
You know what? Maybe she has.
I think she has.
And they're not listening. Now she's like, you know what? She's got enough of. She's not. If they told her tomorrow you're not in next week's cast, she's not gonna be broke and not have a
She's
job.
not gonna be broke. But
Why?
okay.
Because of Ghostbusters?
No, she's got other stuff. I'm sure.
But again, she's 56. She's been struggling her whole career, and then she finally lands on Saturday Night Live.
I know you.
She's not young, you know. She's
no, but
been
still,
around a while.
I think she would be able to do okay, and maybe that's why. Maybe she's not young, and
Maybe
like,
she's
you know
done
what?
with it. Yeah.
And she's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm gonna tell you like it is.
She is funny though. See,
fear for myself.
But what would you want to see from Saturday Night Live in terms of politics? Like, what types of skits are they doing right, and which ones are they doing? I think they need to can the whole cold open where they come in with them at the podium. I've had it. It was funny when Melissa McCarthy came on and played what's his name that went nuts on Sean Spicer.
Yeah.
That was funny as hell.
That was funny.
The first time.
Yeah.
The callback one a week or two later. All right, I kind of heard this. Third time she came on, it was an epic failure.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the Saturday Night Live problem. They go to the well too many goddamn times. So what would you want to see politically out of them?
I would rather see it be in a weekend update.
Yep.
I would just rather see that. Like, now we're going to deal with the not so serious side of the serious side.
Well, that's when they cover all the other headlines. So why not just put that
do it
there?
then?
Yeah.
I mean, like, or a big event like the Kim Jong-il thing. How much? Oh my god. Whatever, the Chinese dude or the North Korean dude.
Oh,
Sorry.
God.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
The no-code dude.
This is good. I mean, any good that he did, you just ended.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
those bombs are aimed right for this house.
Yeah.
And it's going to increase the property value.
My neighbors would be psyched.
At least there'll be uranium here.
Finally, he cut the lawn. It's gone. But I mean,
did you have time to light that? Did you?
But I mean, if there's a significant thing going on,
make a skit about it. If the storm, like the Stormy Daniels thing, I could see them making a skit about that. Some other things, I could see that happening, but to do it week in and week out of a constant and granted, Trump says stupid shit every week.
So what?
You know what I mean? On Twitter.
I'm over it.
But,
I'm over it.
But everybody expects it. It's not funny anymore. You know what I mean? It's not.
When what they're parodying isn't as funny. Oh, no, is funnier than the parody they're doing.
Yes.
And it's time to quit it. Yeah.
Then cut it out.
Quit, yeah.
Trump is making his own comedy.
Yeah.
His Twitter skills are horrendous.
Nope.
He can't spell.
Yeah.
And the editor in me is going apeshit looking at his Twitter. But I'll be goddamned if I ain't following him. Okay, by the way, Too. That
I
means
can
too
imagine.
much.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
George Bush did the same thing.
They all did.
You know what I
Clinton
mean?
did the same thing.
Clinton did the
Obama,
same thing.
my hat is tip. Obama is very well spoken.
Yeah.
Extremely strong writer. He
course.
did most of his own speeches.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer.
So you can't really criticize him for that. But George Bush was a Yale graduate and couldn't speak his way out of a paper bag.
Yeah. And
So
Bill
let's-
Clinton did the same. Like you said, Bill Clinton did the same thing. There's
yeah,
he
they
was
all have
Harvard grad,
silvery
right?
tongues.
numerous presidents that did that. But like you said, they're just beating a dead horse.
Yeah, it's
You know what I
over.
mean? And if every skit that you're going is going to be about that, then it's going to end.
They wonder
Because
why they're losing ratings.
You're showing that you
it's
don't have
boring.
the talent or the creativity to produce a great show over.
Show was never about ratings because they're not making advertising money at 11:30 to 1 a.m. on a
No,
Saturday.
but
It's not about that. It's always been a showcase for new talent. Think of the careers that they've launched.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Okay, and I made fun of Adam Sandler earlier, and yeah, he's kind of a hack now. But let's be real. At one point,
Guys.
Adam Sandler, a guy who played Billy Madison, was the highest paid guy in Hollywood.
Yep.
Short period of time, but he did it.
And he's still making a ton of money.
He made a contract deal with Netflix that basically let him decide what the movies were so he could travel to the locations he wanted to go to. We talked about fuck you money before.
Yeah.
That is fuck you money. He is
Yep.
telling the Netflix, I want to film in Bolivia.
Yeah.
And so they're going to make a movie about Bolivians.
And he's
and
made
that's
enough
it.
money to send his great grandkids to fucking college.
Yeah.
You know?
The man is shitting cash.
Yes.
And so I don't feel bad about
Tip
it.
my
And-
hat to him for that.
Well, I tip my hat because he also doesn't put any effort into any movie he makes.
No, he does.
Every
zero.
Netflix movie he's made has been a direct-to-video nonsense, but he's got this exclusive deal. He's making like $10 million per.
Yep.
That's insanity. You edit out when I went insane.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna leave that.
I can't wait till
Nah.
NTS makes that kind of fuck you money.
I want fuck you.
I
man.
wouldn't count on that.
Are you kidding? If we sold 3 T-shirts this week, we'd be like, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
Fuck you, money, yeah.
Woo!
Buy a case of beer.
Yeah.
Schlitz."
We got we got beer for the next
Yeah.
recording
If
session.
we get out of 6 months, if we can buy a case of beer, I'm in. Yeah, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's insane. They just keep grabbing for that low hanging fruit. Speaking of low hanging fruits, you think they'll do an Anthony Bourdain skit?
Oh God, I hope so. Oh God, that would be great.
I don't know. Do they have any freaking 6'9" leathery freaking people that can play them?
Actually, they do.
6 foot
Actually, wait a minute.
Yeah, they do.
What's her name?
Leslie
Leslie Jones.
Jones.
He's just got to
They're
lighten
gonna
up her skin a little
Or
bit.
that other guy that's been
And that's
tanning for 45 years.
What's his name?
George something.
Yeah.
I
That old
want to know
bastard.
who's going to play the guy that found him.
George Hamilton.
That's it.
Yeah, get that handbag.
Yeah.
Satchel faced George Hamilton to come in and play.
How does that guy not have skin cancer?
How is that guy not
I think
hanging?
he is skin cancer.
At that point, why fight it? You know,
Right, yeah.
His liver died 4 years ago.
Yeah.
He's even the spokesman for extra crispy fucking chicken for KFC.
Yeah, he is.
Is he really?
Yeah. He was with he had
He's the
the
extra crispy, the extra crispy kernel.
He's like a Dr. Monto Calaban.
What was his name?
I don't know.
Ricardo Montalban?
The guy that sold Cordobas in 1978.
Fantasy Island. Yeah, Ricardo, that guy.
Ricardo.
Holy shit.
Is that guy still alive?
No.
On Fantasy Island he is.
But he might as well be. Monto Carlobon or whatever it
Monto.
is that Craig just said.
Monto. Hey, Monto Carlo
forgot.
Blonde.
Whatever.
You are literally a step and a half above retarded. You really are.
It's people's names, man. Fuck them.
Yeah, words. Words screw them all up,
No.
dude. Words fuck
Honestly,
them
between
all
you and Mike, I should be able to deduct this entire show as a charitable donation.
Ricardo Montalban, that's it is. Corinthian leather.
up. Yeah.
Well, that you got right.
Corinthian leather
Yeah.
in the
So,
Cordoba.
so you can remember a Chrysler commercial, but not a fucking man.
Smiles,
Carlo
smiles.
Montalban is what you said.
Yeah. Carlo Montalban.
Carlo
Ricardo
Monte Carlo.
You are dumber than a box of hair.
Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, I fucked
why
that
don't
one right up.
Why don't you go write political sketches for Saturday
Isn't
Night
he
Live?
fucking John Leguizamo's fucking cousin?
Oh, boy.
Well, it's not even that. I think Louise Guzam was even better than now.
Guzam.
But that's
Yeah.
another thing, though. You said that there's a lot of great comedians on the show now. So
They launched careers.
they launch
Yeah.
careers, but by the writers that keep writing this shit for these guys, they're actually screwing up these people's freaking careers by writing crap for them.
Well, they're writing bad skits in general. I mean, other than the Timberlake ones you guys were mentioning while I stepped away, there really aren't that many great standout skits
No.
anymore. Remember
No.
we used to talk about on Monday morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go into school and be like, "Oh, did you see when they did that?" Like my favorite one was Adam Sandler and oh god, I'm not going to say that.
Alec
one.
Baldwin, the fucking Boy Scout.
Oh, the Boy Scout one.
The Boy
No,
Scout
that
one.
wasn't
That was
it.
a good one, though.
There
That
was,
was a good
there was
skit.
another one, and my reputation is going to bite me in the ass for this. But there was the one where him and Chris Farley were at the pool and they did Schlitz Gay.
Oh,
my
God.
God, that's
That
right.
was a great
They were all
skit.
drinking
That
40s, and out of nowhere, all these fucking hard bodies show up.
They crack open it, they
They're on
open
the
the
boat.
cooler, and all of a sudden it's like, woo! All the guy, yeah.
And they're
Aren't they
just
on a
sitting there, and they're
boat?
like putting their fingers in the mouth and
Yeah.
whistling
Yeah.
and all that. Oh, God.
They're on a
I'm gonna-
yacht. They're all freaking
Chris
laying-
Farley, fantastic example of a great talent. The skits that he did.
If he was alive
Where-
today, he'd be doing Chris Christie.
Yeah.
You know he would.
Well,
guaranteed.
maybe if he was alive today, he probably wouldn't be on SNL anymore, and he would be doing his own thing because
Well, he'd probably come back to do it.
maybe, yeah, maybe. And
He
Chris
probably would
Christie
have done
be
Sean
funny.
Spicer
Yeah,
if he was alive. He would have come back.
but I mean, he was funny as a bastard. He did good skits. Him and Patrick Swayze doing the fucking
Oh,
Chip and Dale dance.
Classic,
shit.
man.
But,
you know?
I mean, I don't
And then
think
in
there
a
are...
van down by the river.
Fuck, there are kids today quoting that
speaker.
don't know what it means.
Yeah,
They just know that this guy did it,
Yep.
you know, and they know he was in Tommy Boy. There aren't too many quotable skits. I don't hear anybody
No, not anymore.
talking about them.
and that skit when they found him laying in the bed with his tongue sticking out, all black.
That was a good one.
Oh, that was a good skit.
It looked like an ice cream cone with the white foam and his shirt up around his neck. That was a good
awesome.
one.
That's a good skit.
That was a good one, and it lasted forever.
Yeah,
It's
didn't
what we
see-
call enduring.
yeah,
I didn't see that one, but I read it in the police report.
yeah.
I did. I remember
That's
that.
fucking terrible,
It sucks.
At least we're not making fun of Phil Hartman
right?
for marrying the wrong woman.
Yeah.
Now we will.
Hey, good morning, honey. Bang.
So I just made us another $1 million due to my talent, and you're a no talent hack.
Yeah.
Bang.
Bang.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. Bang. I just made a movie running around with a bunch of little army men, and none of them shot me in the face.
I forget what movie it was where he was playing a tour guide at what do you call it?
Universal Studios.
No, the prison in San Francisco.
Oh, Alcatraz.
Oh,
Alcatraz.
shit.
My God, I'm turning into Craig.
Right.
It's gadget.
You guys,
Alcatraz.
Zalcator.
Yeah.
You guys are retarding me. Okay. It was
retarded in me.
No, he was like a tour guide at Alcatraz, and he was just talking about this one cell. And the guy would actually like skull fuck his victims and then piss in their eye sockets.
Oh, yes.
And he just,
What is that?
I forget the movie, but he actually said these words. He's like, and then he pissed in the bitch's ocular cavity.
No way.
Somebody
was
wrote
that?
that line into a
Yeah.
script,
That's
and
cool.
those are the people I want to hang out with.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. No, but I mean, there's shitloads of people. I mean, John Belushi, awesome.
Didn't he
You
die
know?
the same way as in the same position
Chris-
as Farley?
Yeah.
With
Same
another
age.
snow cone of fucking
Yeah,
phlegm in his
exactly.
mouth.
Same
Yep.
age and everything.
Same
31.
age and yep.
Were they 31, both of them?
Both
Yeah,
of them.
both of them. Yep. Imagine
Yep.
that, so young and all that talent.
Well,
At
he
that
always said he
time-
wanted to be like John Belushi, and he was
He
like
did.
him till the end.
He went out just like him.
You know what? John Belushi didn't always act coked up, though.
No.
Chris Farley was always on 11.
Yeah.
Like, he was always
Dialed
out there.
up.
Every public appearance, everything he did.
Flipping
it was
over.
always him shaking
Yeah.
and getting red in the face. Belushi had his moments where he was a lot more so. He was supposed to be in Ghostbusters.
It's because Belushi
Yeah.
was speedballing and not fucking doing coke all the time.
He wasn't just doing coke. He had heroin,
every-
too.
Yeah.
Thanks for the clarification. man. I appreciate that.
It's
That's
like-
why we have you on the show.
Thanks.
We need that basis of knowledge.
Drug consultant.
So I think really Saturday Night Live comes down to Jeopardy, Weekend Update, and a good musical guest.
Yeah.
The end.
All right. I was speaking of unfunny people. We're bouncing around a little bit here, but speaking of unfunny people, there was an article this week that caught our attention.
Amazingly.
Right?
It's not a good news week.
No, it was a horrible week for news. But
just as we changed the format of this show.
I know.
Yeah, right?
To go into headlines, we have a week where it's basically we could talk about Trump and that midget in Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, or we can try and scrape around. And so what did we find?
Jamie Foxx apparently slapped a chick in the face with his dick 16 years ago.
And she's just remembering it now?
Yeah. Well, apparently he hit her hard.
Must be a pretty big fucking win.
Good for him.
Yeah, right.
I mean, honestly, if he knocked her out for 16 years with the head of his dick,
He should be hailed as a god.
I think case dismissed.
She was she was in a coma for 16 years. Her parents found her in the bushes out front of the house. She like brought her to the hospital. Now she just woke up after drinking fucking milkshakes for fucking 16 years. She woke up. She was like, Jamie Foxx's dick.
How can you imagine? What do you remember? I remember Marlon Wayans pointing and laughing.
Yeah.
And then it all went black.
Real black.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this was a hell of a headline. It was broken to us by none other than TMZ, the leaders in fair and equally distributed news.
Exactly.
Took place in 2002, and it happened in Las Vegas, again, where all truthful crime claims happen.
Exactly. Yep.
Basically, the woman claims she and a friend were partying at Jamie Foxx's pad, as the article put it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that.
At his pad after a show.
And he basically said, hey, blow me. And she said no. And that's when he decided, well, you know what? I'm going to take out my dick and slap you across the chin. It gets better. Apparently, Jamie Foxx is awesome because the woman claims she went to the hospital the next day for treatment.
Yeah.
Not for cheek bruising.
Yeah. No.
Not for any kind of like weird
some outline of a cock on her cheek.
She doesn't have like a mushroom right under her eye socket. But it turns out she had a severe panic attack.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse. Yeah. I'd rather have a dick mark than be afraid of a penis being slapped in my face.
Maybe it was gigantic.
You don't understand. This thing was big. You don't get it.
Holy shit. He was in Spider-Man.
Right?
No shit.
And I said this
Electro.
before. He could have fucking just like brushed against her ear with his elbow, and that's considered getting hit in the face with the dick because he's a giant
He's
dick.
a fucking dick.
I fucking can't stand
Well
him.
said, brother. Well said. That's definitely true.
Well, it turns out the statute of limitations in Vegas on a
Dick slap.
Yeah,
On a dong.
on a dong hitting chin incident. A chincident.
Nice. Chincident.
Well, that's only 3 years. This
Really?
happened 16 years ago.
Oh, so I'm in the clear. I went like 7 years ago.
That's right. But you just did it to Fran and she didn't divorce you. So you're all good. But this guy Jamie is emphatically denying that this incident ever occurred. And he is filing a report with the Las Vegas Police Department against the woman. So after all this, he's going for a
gonna
slander
sue her.
claim.
Yeah.
And he's going to end up burying what's left of this woman who may or may not have been in a coma for 16 years
She's going to get buried again.
after getting hit with his black bishop.
It's, did it happen
No.
like that?
No, it did not.
No, it did not.
No,
I
it
mean,
did not.
look, think
And
about
what
it.
it was is this whole movement that is legitimate. That's the thing, is it's a legitimate movement that's going on right now with the hashtag #MeToo. Legitimate movement. But there are people harping on it. And I've said this before. There's people harping on it to make money. And here's a girl
They're not harping on
her
that.
friend said, do you remember that night we went to Jamie Foxx's house? And you tried to suck his dick, and as you were yanking it out of his pants, he was like, fuck you, and we had to leave.
See, that's exactly when I read this. When I read this story, that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, okay, so Jamie Foxx is standing there with this chick. Okay, suck my dick. No. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna whip it out.
Yeah, just swinging his dick around like a
her
battering
face,
ram.
Her face was in it. Was in his shit. her face had to be in his shit in order for you know what I mean.
Well,
Come
not
on.
only that, if you go, you meet a celebrity at a show, and you're hanging out and you're partying, and I don't mean it like you're asking for. I'm not saying that, but if after the show, so you're talking late night, you go back to his hotel room to party,
Groupies.
right? What
Basically.
do you think is? Do you think you're going because you're good friends? No, he's gonna try to bang you, or vice versa. You know what I mean? That's not saying it's right.
She got turned
But-
down.
She got turned down.
The one thing I haven't seen is what she looks like or how she acts or what her history is.
Yeah.
She's just a lawsuit at this point. There's no history on this woman whatsoever.
No.
I would imagine she's probably a pathetic piece of shit.
Yep.
And she said, you know what? He likes to party. We see him in Vegas a lot. He's easy prey.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, I've heard a lot of shit about
and
Jamie
to say,
Foxx.
yeah,
but
and to say that it was 16 years ago and look at it and where he could say, I don't remember 16 years ago. I was fucking, you know what I mean? I was just
smacking
partying
people
it
in the
up.
face with
I was
dick
smacking.
all the time.
I smacked 1,000 people in the face with my
You gotta
dick.
be
you know what
more
happened?
specific.
I think I figured it out. She was with Bill Cosby, and she just thinks all black people look alike.
They're all the same.
That's why she was sleeping for 16 years. No, but that's I do not, as much as I'm not a fan of Jamie. I can't say I hate him. He's done some good things.
He's not funny.
He's not
He's
funny.
not
He's
funny.
not as funny as he thinks he is. He's done, decent actor. He's done some great stuff in movies. But
He played Ray Charles,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's it.
and that's it.
That was
yeah.
he did.
And
he
I
did a
wish
good job.
I wish I was Ray Charles when I saw it.
Yeah. So did she.
But like I said, as much as I don't like the guy, I think this is such bullshit. Just trying to trap
Yeah,
a celebrity into something, thinking you can get him. She probably met him that night. Went to there was probably a party going on. Went to his house,
and they were all
hung
probably
out for a little
drinking
bit, and
whatever.
left. And fucking now she's like,
So
I
are we
gotta-
standing in solidarity for Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Because I actually hope he's doing this to Katie Holmes. And she's just so happy to be out of Scientology at this point that she'll just take anything. And I hope she goes home nightly and has Jamie waiting for her with his dong hanging to his knees. That thing's got like a joint in it.
Yeah.
And I hope she just sits there and just drops to her knees right and she's in the foyer. And just takes that thing, slapping across her cheek. And he just screams out there, "Lays of thunder! Lays of thunder!" And then he texts the same thing to Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Did you just say the thing's got a joint in it and shit?
That thing's, yeah.
It's double jointed, probably.
Tom Cruise.
Look, man, if I were a famous black dude, I'd be slapping my junk on everyone and everything too. What the
Really?
fuck? You know?
You just
I
go
would.
around doing
I was
that?
going around
I would just
swinging it
fucking
like
do
a fucking baton.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? You know,
Throwing it over your shoulder and going on to the next town?
Like a continental soldier.
to all our African American friends out there, first cheers.
Thanks,
of the
man.
night. Cheers.
Yes. To Craig and other actual black people.
Thanks, Craig.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm sorry for that little rant, but I hate Tom Cruise. I hate Katie Holmes. Not a big fan of Jamie Foxx.
No.
So fuck
me
all
neither.
of them.
Yeah.
Fuck them all. But you
Fuck
know
'em
what?
all.
I don't want to see a guy go down for something. Well, I do want to see a guy go down.
Of course you do.
No.
You always want to see a guy go down.
No, I don't want to see a guy go down for something that he didn't do.
No.
And you know that she's just
Depends on who it is.
trying to get money on.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but then again, you could say, she feels more empowered now because there's more people there to, support her.
Well, yeah, that's what
you know?
she thinks that she has backup.
Yeah.
And maybe it did happen. Maybe
And that's
he
probably
whacked her
why
in the
she-
face.
I mean, I
She's
would have
out
put
now,
it past him. Let's not paint him out to be a saint.
No,
But he's got
no.
a hell of a lot more to lose here. And that 16 years, there's a reason there's a statute of limitations.
Yeah.
16 years is a bit long. Bill Cosby, though,
Yeah.
bit him in the ass. He
Yep.
fired his whole fucking legal team today
Yeah.
as they go into the final part of this. Okay, we all
Going
know
to
he's
do his
going.
sentencing in
Yeah.
September.
Okay, so he fired his legal team, and it's already been decided he's guilty.
Yeah.
Okay, what is he going for here?
He's trying to stay out of jail and stay at home arrest for
Is
the
he
rest
still
of his
fake
fucking
blind?
life.
Is he still faking blind?
No,
He's not fake blind anymore.
I don't think so.
Oh,
He
they're
can,
not
he
spray
can
painting
see his
his
entire
eyeballs
career
anymore.
blowing up.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Well, he's going to be able to see if he's going to find those tiny little pills in the counter.
You know what's funny though? He had no idea that the Jello could be used that way.
Right.
Yeah. He's about to. Fucking pig.
I just look at it this way. If I get that. I mean, Bill Cosby, obviously a scumbag. You know what I mean? All the other people, but I think that Jamie Foxx, it's possible. As much as I don't like him, like I said, I never saw him as a fucking dirtbag.
He's got too much to lose.
Yeah,
He's a millionaire.
you know what I mean? I never saw him as a dirtbag person. I always thought, he's a decent guy. You know what I mean? But I just never, I'm not entertained by him. That was all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, she wasn't either.
But I think that if anything, he should go to jail for making that album.
Yes.
Like that should be a crime.
And being in any of those Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I think Jamie Foxx should go to jail for being a hack, for being unfunny,
right,
for being obtusely racist, and for putting his daughter to work on that game show that he's hosting right now.
Yep.
And then parading.
Game show?
He's hosting a game show where he's like Shazam, which is the app that hears your music.
Yes.
But that's his.
And if you get the song wrong, you get hit in the face with a dick.
And his daughter's the one swinging it. Because his daughter's fucking hot.
Really?
Yeah.
Really hot. And yet he's parading his own daughter out there like some eye candy, which is really kind of gross.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm changing my verdict.
So,
Jamie Foxx totally slapped that chick in the face with a dick. I'm hoping it's his. So like that's what Jim Carrey's been up to all these years.
So he's exploiting his daughter.
I think so.
I think so.
Just like fucking what Miley Cyrus's dad did to her.
More or less. But I mean,
More or less,
this
yeah.
woman, she's on this. She's not young. I mean,
No, it's
Jamie had
funny.
this girl young.
That was the only thing is Billy Ray Cyrus was like holding the leash, like, here she is, yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I dropped it. Fuck.
Yeah, no shit.
And she's like sticking her tongue out and wearing fucking panties.
Billy Ray Cyrus was holding her tits. Forget the leash. Okay, he's totally slept with his daughter. Okay, totally fucked his daughter. She's got an achy breaky ass right now. I guarantee.
It's country music.
Sometimes I regret not having kids.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And on that note, let's do some housekeeping.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Holy
I can't think of a better way to end this fucking show.
I'm just joking.
And yeah, I said fucking show because that's one of those situations that warrants it.
Yeah.
Show news. We are still, as of this minute, on the Damaged Goods Network.
Until this episode's up.
We didn't sign the pedophile joke waiver yet. So. Social media, you can still get us at NTS_podcast on Twitter. Same thing on Facebook. ntspod@gmail.com. Soon to be on Instagram. I've decided I'm going to make a point of that for Father's Day weekend. And yes, it is Father's Day weekend.
Yes, it is.
That's right.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Brad.
Thank you.
I have no burdens.
You want to help me out? You want to wish me Happy Father's Day? Come over to my house, take my kids for an hour.
Yeah.
That's all I want. We want to give that unknown teacher up in Massachusetts a shout. Not only is she finally done with school 3 weeks after we first announced it.
Congratulations.
She's done. She's also doing ntsrundowns.com.
That's right.
And we continually thank her for that. We wish her the best on her up-and-coming move. Hopefully we'll see you in a couple weeks. But if not, we understand, especially after this episode.
We really hope that she comes down.
Yeah.
And so let's just kind of wrap up what we tried to accomplish tonight. We were a little hit or miss. We came in. You know what, though? I'm not blaming us. I'm blaming the week that was.
The week that was. It was a horrible news week.
Again, I'm not going to talk about Trump. There are other people doing it.
Yeah. And we, like we said, we tried to be current. We're trying to stay on top of things.
But about things that matter to us.
Yeah.
Not two bloated fucking egomaniacal politicians.
Yeah,
having
exactly.
Let that shit fucking weed itself.
It plays out in the news daily.
Yeah. So you don't need us to do it. The rest of the news week, we even tried looking at a police blotter. Couldn't find anything good.
Even that was freaking.
And we live in a pretty fucked up little town.
Yeah, we do. There's a lot of child molesters around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I thought you meant in the basement.
Waiting for the door to fly in.
Oh, shit.
Craig's mom's out in the back burying the cable box again.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap it up with what we are now affectionately calling, and not permanently though, but affectionately calling the Dick Face Penis Breath's final thought.
Yep. Wrap it up, Mike.
How do we know the limits of being offensive? Accusations and apologies, it seems there are new ones every day. One man's laughs are another man's tears, and that man's tears are another man's source of inspiration. Just know this, anything you say will offend one person or another, so why bother apologizing? But ignorance is not the same as innocence. So if you know you're offending someone, something, a belief, or an ideal, get ready for what's coming. And if you're not ready, that's on you. The only thing that's for certain is no matter what you say, someone will be against it. And if you apologize right away, you've only gone and alienated the people who supported you in the first place. Look, people are critics, so if you have a public voice, take a second to think things through. Slow down, look at the repercussions of your words, and prevent yourself from being next in line for the apology express. But know one thing, that's one train that won't be stopping at this station. Now, Craig, say those magic words, fucker.
Needless to say, we fucking said it.